Okay guys, in this video we're going to be looking at how to construct an amortization schedule for a mortgage. So let's get right into it. The question reads, a couple purchases a house worth $116,000 by paying $16 down and then taking out a mortgage at 8% annual interest to be amortized over 25 years with equal monthly payments. To begin with, we're going to first construct the tables or the formula for calculating the monthly payment, and then we're going to construct the amortization schedule. So what I did first was save my file with an appropriate name, and I named my two sheets. The first sheet I called payment, and the other sheet I called it amortization schedule. Right? I've already created or highlighted the information that we need, so let's extract the information from the problem. First, let's identify the cost of the home, which will be $116,000. We need to format this as currency. Go to general currency. The down payment, which is $16,000. Again, the same process. The amount financed will be the difference between the cost of the home and the down payment. So if you pay if the cost of the home is $116,000 and you make a down payment of $16,000, then it's just a difference. So we enter it as a formula, equals 116 minus the 16. That'll give us $100,000. So the bank will finance $100,000 for the loan. The annual rate is 8%, so we're going to enter in as 0.08 or 0.08. Then let's format it as a percentage. You can add one more decimal place if you want. The monthly rate will be the annual rate per conversion period. In other words, we're going to take the nominal rate of 8% and divide it by 12. Let's format this as a percentage and increase the decimal places until we get 2 BP. So monthly, you'll be charged 0.67%. The term of the loan is for 25 years. Notice it gives me as a currency, so let's change it to general. And to get the total number of monthly payments, we're going to take the term of the loan and multiply it by the frequency of conversion, so by 12. Gives us a total of 300 payments. To calculate now the monthly payment, we're going to use the formula or the function PMT. So equals, and then we start entering PMT. Now, when we enter the formula PMT, if you read the hint, it says calculates the payment for a loan based on constant payments and a constant interest rate. Okay, so this is a specific formula that Excel has to calculate. Notice that we can also enter the formula that we have learned in class, but if Excel has a formula to do it, then we can exploit that. So equals PMT, then we first start by selecting the rate. So we go to B5, comma, we select the total number of interest periods, and we enter negative 160. Sorry, not negative 160, the 100,000, sorry. That will give us the monthly payment. Okay, and we're going to use this information shortly, so let's go straight into the amortization schedule. I've already created a table that highlights the information we're going to enter. Okay, so let's reference the loan amount. So we're going to hit equals payment, and then select the loan amount. So I'm going to select the 100,000. We can format this as currency. The annual rate, so equals, click on payment, and then the annual rate, which is 8%. Format it as a percentage. Add one more decimal place. The number of years equals, again, payment, and then select the number of years. with this information, we can start creating the schedule. We start by entering the information in this cell first. The first row here is not really populated because we enter what we owe. So we generally do not use this this first set of cells. So let's reference the loan amount, and here we're going to start by creating the column for the months. We're only going to do 3 years, so we're going to select A7 and enter equals, select A6 plus 1. What I will do is that every time I drag down the arrow, it will increase by 1. So we drag it down to A42, that gives us 36. This could also have been done in a different way by entering 1, holding control. When you hold control, another plus or cursor appears, and we drag down, right, successively. Let me put this to general. Right, so let me do it again. So we enter 1 here, and then hold control on your computer, and then drag down. Notice how it increases. So this is an alternative way of entering it, because the only thing that we want here is going from 1, 2, 3, but we don't want to enter it 1, 2, then 3, then 4, and so forth. Okay. We're going to now reference the payment that we had calculated earlier in a similar manner that we referenced the loan amount, the annual rate, and the number of years. So equals the monthly payment, and hit the check mark. Now we have to be careful here, because if I drag down, because we have all of these have to be 771.82 cents. If I drag down the arrow, you'll notice that it has $0. Why? Because what it is doing is that it's trying to copy all the cells that follow after 771.82, and there's nothing there, there's 0. So what we need to do is make this cell absolute by pressing F4 or adding a $sign in front of the two, in front of the V and in front of the 9. What does absolute mean? It means that it won't change in value. So when I drag down, you'll notice that the 771.82 will be copied throughout. So let's continue dragging down until we reach B42. The total payments column will give us the total of your payments for that particular payment period. I will explain at the end once we've populated all the table. Okay. So let's show the your total in terms of payments. So this would be equals the previous payment plus the payment that you had made. So in this case, it's going to be C6 plus B7. The interest now. There are 2 ways of calculating the interest. The formula, there's a specific formula that Excel has. It's called IPMT. And IPMT is a function that calculates the interest part of a periodic payment. So out of this periodic payment, how much will go towards interest? In other words, how much will the bank retain, and then that will allow us to calculate the principal that it will repay. Right? So that's a very specific formula to calculating the interest on the payment that is being charged. Okay, so let's use the formula, and then we're going to show an alternative on how to do it. So equals IPMT, right? So if we read the hint, it says returns the interest payment for a given period of an investment based on the periodic constant payments and constant interest rate. So let's select the correct information. So we're going to go and select C2, which is the interest rate divided by 12. That will give us the rate per period. Select um, the rate, the monthly rate is 7. So month 1 or period 1, what happens in period 1? Then select the number of years and multiply it by 12 to give us the total number of interest periods, followed by negative C1. Close the parentheses. Now remember, we're trying to use this formula throughout the entire table, but if I drag down, it will give me error. And the reason why, again, following the same process, is that some of these entries should not change in the formula, so we make them absolute. And the ones that should not change are C2, which is the annual rate. So we press F4. We want the month to change, right? We want these to change. So we keep it as relative, F4 for the number of years because it's still 25, and the loan amount doesn't change. So that's $666.67. The total interest is similar concept to the total payment. So up to the second period, how much would you have paid in terms of interest? So that's generally the concept, right? So equals the interest plus the interest at that particular point in time. Oops, sorry, we should have been here. So equals so this will give us the total interest that we have in the current period. In other words, how much has the bank retained from all the payments that I have made. Let us now calculate the principal. Okay. To calculate the principal, we're going to use another formula called PPMT. And PPMT is a function that calculates the principal part of the periodic payment. In other words, out of the $771.82, how much is actually being paid towards the loan? All right, so that's the concept behind this new function. So we enter PPMT. Again, a similar process to the previous case. Divide by 12, comma, select the month, comma, select the number of years, times 12, comma, and negative C1, which is the loan amount. Now, again, we're going to make some of these entries absolute because we don't want them to change. It equals. So, out of the $771.82, the bank is charging me $666.67 interest, with a principal repaying the loan that I borrowed of $105.15. Okay, the total principal will be how much would you have paid total by that particular period. So this will be equals the previous payment plus the current payment. So that's $105.15. Right, so this will be equal to now how much of my loan remains to pay, or my unpaid balance. So we're going to hit equals, and going to select H6 minus, and then select F7. This here. Now let's drag down everything. And that gives us the amortization schedule. So let's try to summarize this table carefully. Okay, we'll zoom in just a little. So let's focus only on in the second period here. In this second period, what this is trying to tell you is the following. In the second month, you're going to pay $771.82. By that point in time, you would have paid these two. So these two 771 with 82 cents, which adds up to 1,500 approximately, right? So 1,543 with 63 cents. So by the second month, you would have paid these two, which is this amount. In the second month, out of the 700 of the year, out of the year 771 with 82 cents, 665 with 97 cents will go towards the interest, what the bank is charging you. Because remember, this is interest on the reducing balance. So this is interest on the 999,894 with 85 cents, right? So this is what the bank will stay with. What will go towards paying the bank or your loan will be the 105 with 85 cents. Okay, so in terms of interest, how much would you have paid at that point in time? Well, you would have paid the 666 with 67 and the 665 with 97, which gives you a total of 1,332 with 63 cents. Okay, and the total principal repaid would have been the 105.15 and the 105.85 for this month, which leaves you with $99,789 balance. Okay. Now notice that although we use the formula for this cell, let me highlight it here with a different color. Oh, that's too bright. And this cell, these two could have been found differently. So let me explain. Generally, to get the interest, we would take, so let me just show it to you here, the unpaid balance and multiply it by the interest rate per conversion period. So it's going to be the 8% divided by 12. So notice that that gives me the same amount. See here? So this is the same as this here. Okay? So if I'm to calculate this one, then I would need to select this here. And I would get the same amount as this. Okay? So instead of using that big formula, I can simply multiply the interest rate per conversion period with the unpaid balance. To get the principal repaid as well, we can do it slightly different. You can say equals the payment minus the interest, and that gives me the 105 with 85. Okay, so the formulas, yes, could have been simplified, but it's also important to note that there are other formulas that you can use in Excel that will allow you to solve the problem. Okay. Once again, remember that these topics you will need to apply in your assessment, so make sure that you learn how to use these formulae and create a complete amortization schedule. Thank you very much for watching the video.